Hey guys, I'm Evan. Welcome to Country View Acres. So this morning, since I still got the brush mulcher on the excavator, we're gonna go mow around the pond edge, get it all cleaned up. Then I got a couple ditches that I want to get mowed down as well. And then we'll just have to see where the day takes us after that. While I was mowing back here, I ended up pulling like a part of a log through the brush mulcher and it's caught in there. Can you see it right there? I might be able to get it out. I think I can. There we go. That stopped it from going. Well, besides that little hiccup, everything else has gone fairly well. You can see we've got this side all mowed down. Just got to try to mow around these trees. In some of the areas we're gonna mow, it's gonna look like this, full of like thorns and brush. It's gonna make a big difference when we're done today. All right, we got about a third of the pond done so far. Just uncovered the old diving board platform. There used to be a diving board that's stuck way out here for them to jump into the pond. I'm eventually gonna tear this old diving board platform out of here with the excavator. Not today, but here sometime soon. And then right past it, it actually is a fairly steep drop off here. There's no way you can get a mower in here anyway. This is all thorn bushes, blackberries, stuff like that. We gotta take all this out. And then we have a few hidden things in here. So right there, that is the aerator for the pond. And then we have a sycamore tree that we planted here. So we just need to be careful in this area not to damage those. And then we just got to go around this side over to the dam and we're finished up. This next section I'm going to worry about a little bit because the excavator is going to be at an angle and then I'll be reaching down. So I think the tipping hazard is going to be worse trying to go around this edge. All right, got the pond edge mowed around all the way around. And of course the other day we did the dam right here. So everything's looking pretty good. So let's head over, just mow a couple ditches real quick, and then we'll move on to something else. All right, I got the ditches on each side of the driveway here all mowed down. Now, are they perfect? By no means are they perfect. Are they good enough for me? Yes, they are. So I'm real happy to be able to do this instead of try to go through here with a weed eater. It's a lot funner, a lot easier. And I don't think I damaged the fence at all doing this whole thing. I was kind of worried about that. And then there's also a culvert that comes through here on both sides. Now, I did hit it over here. You can tell it's fairly covered in grass. But I hit the end right there, kind of mangled it up, and then I hit the top of it. It's a double walled pipe, so this is the outer wall. The inner wall's still good. But yeah, that was the only, I guess, oopsie that I did while I was mowing this ditch. Let's go ahead, we'll get the excavator put up, and then we'll find another job to do. Well, I guess the next thing we'll do is we'll try to figure out where this weird noise is coming from in the Polaris. So I had a lot of people give suggestions on what it might be, you know, like a loose bracket on a muffler, some other piece of metal vibrating that came loose. And at least one person mentioned that it sounded like a lifter in the manifold. And that's where it sounds like it's coming from. It sounds like it's coming from the valve cover. It sounds like it's coming from right there. So they may be right on that. That is really where it sounds like it's coming from. So I may turn it off and maybe we'll open it up. So this is the little camshaft, and you got a cam here and a cam there. So there's two valves. There we go. So one valve lifter is pushing up against the camshaft, the other one is not. So that makes me wonder if that valve lifter, if there's something wrong with it, since it's not pressing upward. All right, got it put back together. Couldn't tell 100% sure if it's really the problem or not. Well, the noise is definitely coming from under that valve cover or the top part of the engine there, and it may end up being like a valve lifter or something to do with the valves. So looks like we'll end up having a winter project. May have to tear this apart and see if we get it fixed, but for right now I'll probably park this thing and we'll just use the other side by side. There's Teddy nursing. Ellie's been a good mama. Well, they're completely out of salt in this pasture. I normally fill one compartment with regular salt and then the other one with the garlic salt. They can have their choice, which one they want. Move, cow. Come on over. We'll call them over so they know that they got salt again. You smell that, Maya? What do we got in here? Okay, Maya went for the garlic. Hey, Teddy, show everybody your milk mustache. Huh? Come on, don't be shy. You see? Show them your milk mustache. Yeah. So while I was putting the salt out, FedEx came by, and this is my ABS module for the Ford truck. I sent it off to get it repaired, and let's open it up and see if we get back in the truck. Hopefully that fixes it. Well, there's my repaired ABS module. I will say one of those in there looks crooked. I hope it's just the way they kind of taped a cover over this. Well, nothing in the paperwork says they found, you know, like any problems with it or anything. It's just basically generic. So hopefully they did find something wrong. Hopefully it's fixed. Well, it wasn't the tape that was on there. That one's definitely crooked. I don't know if you can see it or not. But it just has to slide over. You have to get it lined up and slide it over like a bunch of little valves, I think is what it is. Ah, I got it on. Now I just gotta tighten it down. Oh, I just lost my socket. And I did not hear it hit the ground. Great. And that was one of those star sockets. It's not a torque, it's actually like a star. They call it like a E6, I think was the size. Oh, I got it. There we go. It fell down in there and got jammed in between a brake line and the frame. Had to take a cover off to even see it. Well, no wonder it fell off. The adapter doesn't really have, it's all smooth-sided on the inside. There's no notches. The adapter fell off again. Ugh! It's like a 3/8 to 1/4 inch adapter on there. It doesn't have any notches in it to hold it on. Oh my goodness. I broke it. I just snapped that sucker off. Ugh. Oh, I'm not having one. I'm having one of them days. Yeah, she snapped off all right. Great. All right, well, I got the ABS module back in, but I did break off one of the screws right there. So maybe we can at least see if it's gonna clear our error. All right, battery's hooked back up, ready to go. So all the air lights on the dash are clear now for the brakes, the ABS, pretty much everything else except for one of these tire sensors. And that's been that way since I bought the truck. But that doesn't mean it's fixed. I'm gonna go ahead and test drive it, see if the air light comes back. Of course, if it doesn't come back in the next couple days, then hopefully that means it's good. Well, I drove it around and I tested the brakes really hard several times and everything seemed to work and the lights didn't come back on, so we'll just give it some time and hopefully the truck is good. So I know people are gonna ask about the screw that I broke off in there, and there's a total of 4 screws that hold the ABS module in, and there is a gasket. It's kind of like an O-ring gasket. It sticks out a little ways and you compress it. And I think the 3 screws will hold that in there good enough to compress that gasket, keep the dust out, and hopefully everything will stay working. I think the screw itself is probably too small and in such a terrible spot to even try to remove the broken screw and get a new one in there. So I'm just gonna let it go for now. So it takes less than 5 minutes to milk Ellie completely out. And I know the first time we showed it, we only milked 3 of the teats. We've been milking all 4 of the teats ever since then. We only did that once. And we just milk her out completely. And we've been milking twice a day now ever since we found out she has mastitis. All done. Ellie, I'm gonna have this thing all clean before you're even done eating. So looking at the time on the camera, I spent just over 20 minutes and 40 seconds out here to get Ellie milked and get the machine cleaned up. So you can tell we sped things up quite a bit on the milking. We're getting a lot more used to it. There is a few minutes of time beforehand to fill up the buckets and then to rinse the buckets out once we get back to the house. And then of course, if we were collecting the milk, we would have to pour that into containers as well. So there'd be a few more added minutes. But right now, you know, we told you that Ellie has mastitis, or that she had mastitis. We have gave her the full treatment. So Ellie had to get we had to give her some antibiotic shots. And then we also had to give her another treatment that goes directly in each teat that was infected. And you have to push the fluid up inside of each one of her quarters to treat her. And we've done that whole treatment. And normally when you would do antibiotics like that, you have a withdrawal period. And a lot of time it's for the meat, for like beef. If she was going to slaughter, it would have to be, it'd be somewhere around 3 weeks that you would have to wait for that antibiotics to get out of her system. But for the milk, it has a really low withdrawal period. It's only 96 hours, 4 days, and then you can start using the milk again. So that's good that it doesn't seem to affect the milk as bad. So it looks like here in a few days we will be able to start collecting the milk again and then see if we can start milking it or making it into cheese. Now I can already tell, because we're taking the milk and we're just dumping it out right now, I can tell the milk is more white. It's not as watery as it was before when she had mastitis. And you can also tell that her bag was red on the sides near the back and her teats were really hard. You can tell it's already clearing up. So you can tell that she is making a recovery. So that's good. It looks like the treatment is working. And yeah, it looks like later this week, we will end up being able to start keeping the milk again, and then we can go back trying to make cheese. And this is iodine, and it's in a little teat dipper. This is what we've done this since day one. When you're done milking, you dip each teat in iodine, and that helps kind of seal it up so that she doesn't get any bacteria and infection in there. Now when the calf nurses, his saliva does the exact same thing. It helps her keep from getting an infection. That's why in nature you don't have to worry about it, but when you milk, you have to take some extra precautions. So if you look in the background, you can see that the sun is down, so it's pretty much quitting time today. And if you guys made it this far into the video, I would appreciate it if you would go ahead and subscribe and follow along. It's completely free, doesn't cost a thing. And I'm trying to get to 200,000. I think I'm like 9,000 away. So I've got a little ways to go, but any little bit will help. So I think that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.